Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Ooh, what's going on, everybody? It is your friend, the young synthesizer of opinion, young Deb Demolino. Holla at ya, boy. And today I'm taking a quick break from slaving away over at the New Music Monday podcast. Myself, my co-host Trent, we're working really hard to get that going. Episode 1 is going to be April 29th. It's coming soon. So make sure you tune in for that. But first, I had to get to this Ventura album. I don't even have a place to film these videos yet, but I'm doing it because I got a wall and a camera and me. And I guess that's all I need. So 65432 reviewing format means 6-minute review, 5 things to know about the album or the artist, 4 favorite tracks, 3 adjectives to describe the album, 2 potential ratings to give the album at the end of this review. Is it hot or is it not? Is it totally tight or is it wiggity whack? 5 things you want to know about Ventura and Anderson.Paak. Where do you want to start? He's a rapper, he's a singer, he's a songwriter, producer, and a drummer. And before he linked up with Dr. Dre, he used to go by the stage name Breezy Lovejoy, which is hilarious. And that's all I got. So let's talk about my 4 favorite songs on the album. But first, let's talk about one song on the album I don't like at all. We got to come together for a moment and just be real with ourselves and say, you know what? This Pharrell track, it ain't it. It sucks. It's not a good song. Like, why does the beat sound so sterile? Y'all remember when Beyonce said, I sneezed on the beat and the beat got sicker, right? Fire. Well, Twilight sounds like Pharrell was in the studio with latex gloves on and a surgical mask and one of those hospital gowns that's like open on the ass side, right? Because like this shit don't sound sick at all. He didn't sneeze on this not one bit. And Twilight has been stuck in my head like crazy. But you know when a song gets in your head and then it rots in there and then it starts sounding like shit and every time you like think of the song you get seasick? Yeah, I'm there. Anyways, my 4th favorite song on the album ended up being a tie because the 2 singles that preceded this album's release date ended up being big favorites for me in the end. Now, if you were to ask me my preference between the first single, King James, and the second, Make It Better, featuring Smokey Robinson, that's really tough. But I'd have to give the edge to the freedom funk sound that I love so much on that King James song. Even after hearing the entire album, this thing still sounds completely one of a kind, and I'm enjoying it as much today as I did 2-3 weeks ago when I first heard it. At number 3, Good Heels with Jasmine Sullivan is criminally short, but that rhythm, that groove is unbelievable. I mean, when he said he was in the Palisades, I mean, Jesus Christ. My 2nd favorite song on the album is Come Home, featuring Andre 3000. For many of you, I would assume this was your favorite song or one of your favorite songs because 3 Stacks lost his goddamn mind on this song. I'm a little nutmeg, I'm gonna show up on a moped with a little puppy, it'll be fluffy. What? Finally, my favorite song on the album has to be What Can We Do, featuring Nate Dogg. I mean, what do you want me to do, man? You got fucking Nate Dogg on the track. Like, you're not topping that. If Andy wants to top this on his next album, I mean, he'll need some unreleased Jesus vocals or something. Because this just isn't your everyday run-of-the-mill dead guy chorus. And to be honest, I've never really heard Nate Dogg sounding like this vocally and just the sound of the song. So this just sounds really rare and different and completely one of a kind. I don't think you'll ever hear another song like this. Okay, so let's talk adjectives that are going to help me describe Ventura. The first I'm going to say is lovesick. And he sounds a little lovesick on this album, a little brokenhearted. Sounds like he's trying to get some things right back at home. It definitely plays out as a theme, you know, love lost and the glitz and the glamour and galore and in the limelight. And yeah, like I said, he's just trying to make things right at home. But Andy, man, you know, he's got that dog in him. Because on this album, even it's side pieces, like on the song Good Heels. I think he's going to get his girl back. I think they'll be all right. Either way, the music sounds fantastic. My next adjective is constant because Ventura is constant in its themes and in its sound. This album sees Anderson.Paak committed to a deep R&B and soul sound, one that is an itch in my palate that I just don't think there's another rapper, singer, otherwise that could scratch it. This is Anderson.Paak's lane, and he's in it fully for the first time ever on a full-length project. My last adjective is old new, and I know that's not a real word, but to me at least it describes this really well-made fusion between the soul and traditional R&B blueprint that is remixed and repackaged with a modern hip-hop twist. Both sides shining out in the music very clearly at pretty much every point in the album. Alright, you probably could have guessed it, but let me tell you myself, I think this is a great album. If you're asking me hot or not, it's big hot. I think this is an early candidate for Album of the Year. I think this is one of Paak's best ever. Period. And while I'm in that train of thought, let me go ahead and rank Anderson.Paak's albums right now, because I've always been a firm believer that his collaborative project with the producer Knowledge, yes, Lord, was a creative apex for both parties involved, like on some mad villainy shit. Even the remixes they did for that album are fantastic. I hope that they do a sequel. And then below that is this album, Ventura, I think is really, really good. The artistic decisions made on this album sound convincing. This sounds like the kind of album that Anderson.Paak wanted to make, because when you got someone as talented and as visionary as an Anderson.Paak, you kind of just got to trust in what makes them them. And I think this album represents so much of what can be and what is good about this artist. And then Malibu, which is another great album, has some of his best songs ever, but now hearing Ventura feels like a bit of a precursor to the hyper-focused and laser-focused approach that he brought to this project. Oxnard is good, at sometimes it's really good, but it feels like a forced album, and I can applaud him stepping outside of his comfort zone, but it sounds like he made the album with his left hand. And then there's Venice, his debut album, which has some flashes of brilliance. You see where his sound would later on come to life, but it really is just an unkempt version of all this amazing music that we've later on heard from this guy. And that's all I got. So, you tell me down in the comments section where you would rank this album amongst the rest. You can rank all 5 if you want. And as always, you can drop down in that comment section your favorite songs, adjectives to describe the album, and a hot or not rating if you wish to do so. Like this video, please. Subscribe to the DevDummalino channel, please. Twitter at DevDummalino, Instagram at DevDummalino. New Music Monday podcast, April 29th. It's happening soon. Please tune in. And just get ready for me and my boy Pax to be coming live to you every single week, podcast style, okay? That's going to be it for me. Again, thank you. Art without favor, windmill without win. DevDummalino.